I am sure that everyone's heard of VistaPrint. You've heard of VistaPrint, Kelsey?
Absolutely. It's kind of I think it's the name I think of whenever I go, I need like a business card or anything printed professionally. That's probably the first name I go to.
Yeah, wow. I think Officeworks, if you're in Australia, has a lot to say about that.
Fair.
but but VistaPrint's massive. I mean, so is Officeworks, but VistaPrint is uh, a global phenomenon when it comes to printing merchandise. And they've had a Wix integration, so they've been sort of working in the web space for a little while. They own 99 Designs, which is a I guess a platform for freelancers to deliver work through. Sort of relevant, I guess, talking about LinkedIn later on. But the big news today, for me at least, is that they bought Crello and Deposit Photos. So Vistaprint's gone from being this place where you order your designs on merchandise to being a place that can do everything. So Vistaprint can let you, I mean, produce it, either get it produced for you by their 99 design service, or let you produce it using a graphical editor like Crello, which they've rebranded to Vista Create, I believe.
Yeah.
And then you can source your stock photos as well, which is really handy when we're talking about the website side of things. And then, of course, all said and done, you can produce it, or they can produce it for you and send it in the mail. So, to me, this is an interesting move that they announced both simultaneously. I think it's a big sign that they are really going strong into this space. Um, I've heard various stats, but something like 30 or a quarter to a third of individuals in the US will have a business over the coming years, and I'm sure that'll increase. And this just really puts the power to them, because no longer do you need to contact printers or contact a graphic designer. You can just get it all done through Vista Print, all the way through. What are
Yeah.
your
It's
thoughts on this?
it's really just it's become a one-stop shop. I think previously, if you were going into business, it was really the case of you had to do your research to know, if you're going to a printer, what information to give them and all of that sort of stuff. And it can be quite complicated sometimes because of all the different options and all of that. And, you'd be paying a graphic designer quite a bit in the past. And of course, if you're wanting to design your own things, that was a whole different issue because, what programs do you need? Do you need to be specially trained, all that sort of stuff? All of a sudden, you go to one spot, it's nice and easy. There's a pretty logical flow. I'm sure everything would integrate and there would be little prompts of, once you've finished a design, do you want to give this to the printers? What's going on there? So I think it's a really smart move. And it would be, I don't know, I feel like there's definitely other companies that have done this, none that spring to mind right now, but I'm sure that there have been a few that are following a similar path. But it'll be interesting to see what other companies start to do this kind of thing where they really get the full end-to-end process of one particular idea, if that makes sense.
Well, I would say, for most businesses, it's a goal certainly to do that. And Vistaprint's taken an interesting approach because they've just acquired all the other business units to make it all work, which is quite a smart move, I would say, because they don't need to try and perfect that and spend years trying to get all these different things right. They just buy companies that have got it right, and then those companies can keep growing. They get to integrate into VistaPrint, and everyone's really, really happy.
Mm,
And I don't think personally, I don't think it makes it or sort of threatens the existence of agencies, etc. I think what
that's
it
a different
does
market,
is
really.
exactly, if you don't want to worry about it, if you just want to leave it to the professionals, reach out to someone like Future Theory, who's us, or any other agency, and we can take care of it all for you. But if you want to design something for yourself, or if you're just happy to just do it all yourself, especially sort of looking at that stat of people getting into small businesses or starting side hustles, this is extremely low barrier to entry. I think there's a free product off Crello, and there'll be free or very cheap offerings across the board, and then your real cost is paying to get something printed onto either business cards or whatever else it may be. But by that stage, it's also fairly affordable. So interesting move, all said and done.